Assalamu alaikum. This is Red Prep, and we're here to preview the match of Manchester United against Brighton and Hove Albion at Old Trafford. And it's been a horrible, horrible, nightmare start to the Premier League for Manchester United and Ten Hag. We played 4 matches at home. We won the two we played, but it's been shambolic performances even in those 2 matches, which was against Wolves 1-0 and Nottingham Forest, where we were down 2-0 to at home to Nottingham Forest in the first 5 minutes, eventually coming back to win it 3-2 by a Bruno Fernandes penalty. Against Brighton, we played 3 times last year, and apart from the narrow victory in the penalty shootout in the FA Cup semi-final, we weren't convincing. They beat us at Old Trafford 2-1, and they beat us at their ground with a late, I think it was like 95, 96 minute penalty that Luke Shaw gave away, and they scored from it. McAllister scored. No wonder he's doing great at Liverpool. This season, Brighton have started well. They had a surprise loss against a surprise package of the Premier League, West Ham. Apart from that, they had a great victory against Newcastle last match, and their strikers, especially Evan Ferguson, which I think United should be in the next summer transfer window. They did well, and he scored a hat trick. He's probably the fourth teenager to score a hat trick in the Premier League, so that says a lot. Coming back to Manchester United, it's been a terrible last 2 weeks after the abysmal loss against Arsenal. We had few injuries in the back with Sancho and Lindelof going off, but they should be back, I think. The 2 week international break hasn't been favorable to Manchester United, to say the least. I mean, we had the Antony thing that seems to have been nipped in the bud, with Antony taking an extended break to sort it out, and that should be it for that until we see any kind of development in terms of legal course as well. With Sancho, I am a little split on this, and the reason is, on one hand, Eric Ten Hag is right. You have to inculcate, you have to draw a line to establish those protocols, standards of professionalism and hard work, which is fine. But in this case, it seems like he is like scapegoating Sancho. He's been singled out, and he's not the only one who's doing that. Plus, it's the timing of it seems like it was done. It was choreographed to deflect from the poor start to the season, and that has been what we've seen in the last week or so. There hasn't been that much outcry against Eric Ten Hag, and there's been more focus on one individual player who is certainly not bigger than the team, but it's certainly not the most pressing issue Manchester United should be concerned with. Sancho is quite popular in the squad, and even though it's on Sancho, the fact that it's a repeat occurrence with Ronaldo, that happened one of the matches. Rashford even uh, was penalized only for half, so that also seemed like selective. I think it's been blown out of proportion, and now it seems that Sancho won't play again for Eric Ten Hag. So there's one more player that we won't see, and the squad seems to be more stretched every single week. Somehow an injury or this kind of suspension or the disciplinary action, it is a circus. Coming back to another other fan favorite, not Harry Maguire. I mean, he's got his mum doing his bidding, which is fine because she is his mother, so she would defend him. But I mean, asking golfers, asking, I don't know, actors, Hollywood actors, Spider-Man, for goodness sake, I mean, where is this PR coming from? I mean, he's not performing in for England also, which seems to be his safe haven. He scored an own goal. Dunk looked better than him. I mean, I don't know how Tomori doesn't get in the England first team, and well, Southgate seems to prefer him, and he will die. He will die on the cross. For United, we couldn't offload him. He wouldn't go to West Ham. We couldn't offer him like 5, 10 pounds, whatever, £1 million, whatever it was, to get rid of him. And Eric Ten Hag seems to always give a positive comment for Harry Maguire. So I think we stuck with him. And I think he might run down his contract. I don't know, a couple more years, and until then, we can't get rid of him. Simple as that. Now coming to team news, uh, I think we know that Lisandro Martinez and Victor Lindelof should be back. So they should, if we go to like our uh, team formation and setup, Onana plays. That's fine. He did well for his international side coming back out of retirement. Martinez and Lindelof should start. Dallo, even though Reguilon, I think he's trained, but I don't think he would be raced, especially in this match. I don't think so. So Dallo should start on the left, and Wan Bissaka should be should be on the right. There should be double pivot, I think, of Eriksen and Casemiro. The experiment with Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro was doomed to begin with, and since Mount won't be back for another few weeks, I think. And Amrabat, I think he could have played, but I think the press conference has cleared that up. I think he won't be available. He might be on the bench, but I don't think he'll start certainly. Uh, so Eriksen and Casemiro should be double pivot. Fernandes should play in his preferred number 10 role, even though he doesn't play that high. I don't think Marshall would start. I think Højlund should take his place. So we'll have Højlund up front at number 9. He had a great cameo, I thought. Whatever we've missed for like last few years since Van Persie, I think he should do good for us. But we have to give him time, and we have to be patient. He's a young player, so yeah, he should come good. I think he'd start this match. Ideally, I would prefer Evan Ferguson, but okay, Højlund is good. Rashford, I don't fancy Rashford, but he's the only goal threat at the moment for us. So he should start. I think he would do well. I think for England in the match against Scotland, he did okay, but he just doesn't seem he doesn't seem right somehow. I mean, physically, he doesn't compete. He doesn't go for aerial duels. He doesn't win any duels tracking back, and he's easily shoved off the ball. And to me, he doesn't seem the player he's supposed to be. It just doesn't. Anyway, coming back to Brighton, it's a settled team. I think we should have back for Estopinian, Dunk, Van Hecke, and Milner. Though I prefer Weltman, to be honest, than Milner, but he has started most of the matches, so we should see them. I think one player we should be afraid of, in terms of we should be aware of his movement, is Pascal Gross. He has scored like 6 goals against us, and he always seems to play well against. He had this signature move. He drops the shoulder, come back. It's the Cruyff turn, and every time I think I've seen him, the opponent seems to not read it. So his movement is good as well. And they are missing Caicedo. He's gone to Chelsea, but I think Gilmour has done well for them. Daoud, I think he might start in midfield in the pivot for them. They like to, build a play with this 4, 2 centre back and 2 midfield, and they try to push the opposition out of the structure, out of the preferred stances. So that might be interesting for us because we have 2 slow players. Casemiro isn't fast, and Eriksen doesn't have any legs. So, well, not literally, figuratively. So on the left wing, they have Kairo Mitoma, who is in my opinion, the best winger in the league, along with Jack Grealish. And to be honest, Van Bissaka has had the better of him. But with Van Bissaka, I think he lets him come into the box very easily. I think he banks on the fact that I don't think Mitoma has a great left foot, so he lets him, like, he shows him the outside, and he gets in very easily. I think if he's a bit calmer, I think he could trouble Van Bissaka even, which is certainly not not easy and not something we've seen a lot. Up top, they have Evan Ferguson. He should be okay. The manager has said that he trained on Thursday, so he should be okay. He didn't play for Scotland for his. I think he plays for Ireland, so he didn't play for Ireland, but he should be back. He's a threat. I mean, ideally we should have him in a squad, if not the first 11. We should have gone after a player like him. Obviously, with Glazers, we never have money to, like, actually buy players with value. We either overpay for mediocre players, or we buy them on pittance, taking loans from, from black market somewhere. So that should be their team. Salimaj, he missed the penalty. I think Deserby, yeah, took him out of the team for a few matches after that. But he seems to have started well again. I think he's a quality player. He's a wonderful left feet, and he should be all right. Yeah, I think he should be starting. So that would be their team. Now coming back to predictions, I don't like to predict, to be honest. But what I can give you is a possibility of a win, a narrow win, but that won't be pretty. That won't be, flowing football. We could do what we did against Arsenal. We were able to stifle them, cancel them out. We goaded them to attack us, to press us, and we were able to, like, mostly play sideways and backwards. But we were able to keep them at bay. They didn't have many chances, and that I think that would be the game plan. And I think Eric Ten Hag in his press conference has said that we did well against Arsenal, uh, basically by limiting them to very few chances. But Arsenal, I don't think they started. They have done well in terms of result, but I don't think they have hit the top form that they were expected. Howard hasn't settled in, so I think that was a true Arsenal performance. And even though they had the 3 points, I don't think they would have been too pleased with how they played. So I think that was a false assessment from Eric Ten Hag. But we'll see if we can apply the same principles, the same strategy we had in the FA Cup semi-final, even at home, at their place. I think Anthony had a great chance, and we had few chances with Rashford. And if we are able to score first, we can ease into the game. But I think it would be difficult. I think Brighton, especially with in form Evan Ferguson and Mitoma, they'll be a huge threat. And I don't think we are defensively very sound in midfield. We need Amrabat as soon as he can be available, and that should seal our defensive side of the midfield. But I think if I had to pick one, I don't want to predict, but I can see a narrow win for United, or a thrashing, or a royal hiding for United, and that wouldn't be good to watch. But we'll be here with our analysis and review of that match. So see you back then. Assalamu alaikum.